Tom Cruise is getting ready to release his new film, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, this week. He's also still basking in the surprise success of The Edge of Tomorrow. In a recent interview, Cruise confirmed that they're looking at a sequel to the film when he said the following: "I pitched it to Christopher McQuarrie and Doug Liman. We were there one night and I was like, I've got an idea for it. It could be so much fun. Gotta get Emily." I was like, "Emily, please." She was like, "Give me another year, please." In the same interview, Cruise suggested that they already have other plans for Mission Impossible 6, and it could start shooting as early as next summer. John, what do you make of Cruise's comments?
Love them. Really love them. Edge of Tomorrow, Live, Die, Repeat, All You Need Is Kill, Shubadoo, Bing Bang, whatever it is, the crack team over at the Warner Brothers marketing department is going to call the movie this week, was such a pleasant surprise. I mean, we went on, and I've had so many people tweeting to us like over the past year about, thank you so much for talking about Edge of Tomorrow, because I never would have gone to see it. Of course you wouldn't have gone to see it, because it's probably the worst marketing campaign I have ever seen. Like, it was just terrible. And yet word of mouth got out about it and people went to go see it because it was actually a really damn good movie. I also like the fact that they're talking about bringing both of these characters back. You got to have Emily Blunt there. I mean, I just think you absolutely have to have her there. Now, I hope that when they do it, and hope the idea isn't going back and reliving Groundhog Day again. Like, I hope they find something to move beyond that. To commence story. I mean, hey, the world's been invaded by aliens. There's a lot to go from there as it is. So we don't have to do the whole time cycle thing again, even though they did it great in the first place. And shooting Mission Impossible 6 maybe next year, Tom Cruise ain't 28. I mean, and he's really hitting his stride with his action stuff right now. So crank as many of these out as you can while you can. Anyway, Christian, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, as far as Mission Impossible, I mean, as far as what it... I know it hasn't come out yet. We don't know what the money's going to be like, but as far as just as response in general from critics, from fans that have seen the movie, it's a no-brainer. And you should, if you're getting better each and every time, you should. I'm curious if Chris McQuarrie is going to come back as well too, but we'll find that out. Now, as far as Edge of Tomorrow goes, yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to go the other side as far as the time travel thing goes. I think that you're right. I think that you risk being repetitive, pun intended. But I also think that it's one of the things that made this movie so cool. Is it was like playing a video game, but being so invested in it and watching what happens in real life. So I'd like to see if they're able to do that again. But I also agree with you 100% that you cannot do this movie without Emily Blunt. She is the one that came out of that movie. Tom Cruise was incredible, but Emily Blunt cements herself as a female action star, as an action star in general.
A star, period.
As a star in general.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, with Edge of Tomorrow, what I'm curious about, now, Kick-Ass was a movie that didn't do so well in the theaters. It did okay, the original, but had a great word of mouth, and people loved it, and people were raving about it. And then they did a sequel, and the sequel didn't do so good. Now, granted, had a lot of different elements that didn't come back with that one. So I'm curious if because Edge of Tomorrow is one of those movies that people loved and raved, myself being one of them. You and I just did a top 5 list, Mark, and that was I think number 3 or 4. I hope at number 2, I hope they put together the right team. I love that bring everyone back.
Yeah, unlike Kick-Ass, so just to your point, unlike Kick-Ass, which struggled a bit with the box office, Edge of Tomorrow, because of that strong word of mouth we discussed, it did crack that 100 million mark domestically and ended up making just about 370 million worldwide. So it's not as big of a financial roll the dice as say a Kick-Ass 2 was.
Right. But it's still one of those movies that movie Edge of Tomorrow should have, and I think that Oblivion was a reason that the marketing, yes, and also because Oblivion had just come out and it looked very similar in those trailers as well too, and the trailer was terrible for Edge of Tomorrow. But the thing is, that movie, for the quality that it was and the scale that it was, I just watched it again. It's amazing. That movie should have been close to a $1 billion movie. That movie was incredible. It's one of the best action movies that we've had in a very long time, with good story and characters. So I hope that they can do another one and don't just do it for sequel's sake.
Yeah, and John was joking about it, but you really need to title this movie something good. Like, what do you call Edge of Tomorrow the sequel? What do you call Live, Die, Repeat again? Is it like The Verge of yesterday? Like, what's the actual title that you use to sell this movie? Because, like you said, it doesn't need to have a different plot. I think that the fact that Emily Blunt and Tom Cruise both had this weird characteristic where they could relive each day, maybe that's something that an enemy can do this time, and then they have to figure out how to stop that enemy. I'm not writing the damn movie. I just want to see it. This would be the biggest thing thing that ever happened in Netflix if it was released on something like that instead. I think you can do a theatrical version like this, and it can do very well. Mission Impossible 6 this is Tom Cruise in his career saying, I have a limited amount of time to still be an action star and to be able to do all my own stunts. Like, you go see the Mission Impossible movies, you're like, dude, that's a 50-year-old man hanging on the side of an airplane. And yeah, he's maybe he's a little baddie upstairs, but for an audience, it's so much fun to watch him go through these things. So as long as he wants to keep putting his body through that, crank him out, man. More Edge of Tomorrow, more Mission Impossible for me.